hello. Hello, everyone. Give me 1 second, what? Let me guess. All right. Better. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing fantastic. Man, it's been 2 weeks since I've streamed. I wasn't planning on actually taking a break, but then I realized that I really needed one. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make up for it anyway with a, you know, with the wait a minute, I'm stuck. With a small, pre-made videos that I did. I still have some of them on the way, but for the time being, we're good, I guess. As long as I have, enough time, I'll probably make the rest as well. So sorry for taking a little bit longer to get prepared this time around. But after 2 weeks, I had to make sure that everything is okay. Everything works properly. I had completely forgotten that I still have a heart over here. For some reason, there is still a heart up there. So I guess, you know what? There are no wrongs, just happy little mistakes. And this one is a pleasant one. I guess we have a heart beside the chat bar. Man, not much has happened actually. Believe it or not, like you think that I have something new to present to you for this past 2 weeks. But you see, yeah, nothing actually happened. It was just me really taking a break and just, trying to keep up with work. Yeah, man, you see, I knew it would happen. I told you like 3 months ago that this day, like this period will come. And it will keep being like this for the time being. You see, no matter what, when you have a job that always, has an encircling, how do you call it? A movable time, movable shifts. You will always find yourself not having enough time because the shifts changing means that you will never truly have, the same time to do the things that you do. What I mean is, oh man, I love this music. What I basically mean is that I will never actually be able to, with this job right now, I will never truly be able to make any stream at the same time. Why am I saying all that now? Well, for starters, today it is actually a day that somehow, some way we actually managed to do it on our regular time, which has been 2 months since the last time we did it on our regular time, 2 p.m. Eastern European time, Regardless, as you can tell, work has consumed me. Which is fine because, yeah, how am I going to survive? But yeah, I cannot help but, dislike the fact that this actually takes so much time of me that I do not even find enough, I do not find enough time that I feel comfortable in, that would make me feel comfortable enough to stream properly. I guess this is just me being a little bit lazy too, because I always want some alone time, But I still keep up. I still try my best. Anyway, no more blabbering. This isn't a talking stream. This is a reaction stream, and it is a reaction stream of something that I wanted to do for a long while now. I was going back and forth with it, but now I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it, and I'm just gonna enjoy it. Really, no problems. Like no big deal. I'll just do it because I want to do it. We're going to be reacting to Amalee's lore. She made new lore, and I actually made a tweet talking about it about a week ago. But well, truth be told, I felt like no, I wanted to talk properly, you know, about it, not just make a tweet about it. So we are gonna just do that. We're gonna be reacting to Amalee's lore. Oops, wrong typing. Okay, there we go. Man, no, it's been so long. No, I mean, it's been so long since the first video she made. When she made that first video, I was feeling that I was already too late. Okay, I can see my channel as a, you know, as something that you can, you know, as a recommendation in the search bar. Wow. Wait a minute. I wanna really check it. Like, I really wanna see. I'm gonna check it from another device real quick, because I really wanna see, is my channel just shit, or, you know, the people don't actually see my channel. Like, because I have this small insecurity, you know, that sometimes I'm like, is the algorithm just screwing with me, or is my channel that is not very well made? Which I know that it's not very well made, but is it really that bad? It could be best. It could be better, but you get me, right? Considering the fact that there are many actually PNG VTubers out there which have some kind of audience, it's something that sometimes bothers me. So let me check. Let me think. Yeah. Oh my god, it is. It does. The very moment you type Amalee Vtuber Lore, it has the two videos that are actually her lore, and the third video is mine. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Yeah, then again, there is this other guy who has made lore videos, like a summary of the lore videos. But you see, I am not here to make a summary. I am here to expand on it. This is the duality of men. There is one guy who makes the short videos, and then there is a guy who makes the long videos. I am the long type man. Whatever. So let's begin with the old one, which was and so my work begins. This one is the one who brought really, you know, it made me very wondrous about her her story, because I'm like it's very mysterious, and yeah, you see the video's right there. By the way, is my one more thing, small, excuse me, but is my thumbnail nice? Sometimes I'm wondering if my thumbnails are just a little bit shit, because I'm thinking, do people realize what they're watching right now? They're basically like, it's basically an old TV layer with the Amalee's lore behind the TV, as you can tell, and me in front of the TV reacting to it with a cigar. Oh well, and so my work begins. Ah yes, and so my ads show. Shut up! I do not want glasses. I do not want shit. I do not want anything. Oh my god, her lore was only 2 minutes long. The first one, compared to the new one, why did I thought this was bigger? Oh well. Well, how am I gonna do this now? Now I just realized I'm not exactly sure how to make properly a reaction and a small breakdown video. You know what? I'll just do it my way. All right. I'll just let the video play out, and if I want to point out something important, I'll let you know.
Where do I begin? I guess all stories start at the beginning. But I barely remember mine. Barely remember my home realm.
Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna go through it like this. I expect that people who come here has already watched the trailer once. And me reacting to it, it's not really much of a thing considering the fact that I have watched it before, and the new one as well. This is not a first time, blind reaction. Unfortunately, because I would be even more hyped if this was the first time. But that doesn't mean I cannot still, do my best to explain things and my ideas the way I want. So, from what we can tell over here, this lady, Amalee, has been a monarch for way too fucking long. So long that she cannot remember things very well. Or, she has, she has moved on in many ways, you could say. Now, why am I pointing this out? It's important for the next part, considering the fact that this was her first video, though. I will not be too harsh on it. I'm not here to criticize how good it is. I'm here to draw the lines, basically. In order to see what we have here in a clear image. Get me? So, she has been a monarch for a long, long time. So long that she does not even remember her home realm. Moving on.
All I have are splinters of memories, bright and warm.
Pause. Hello. How are you? What are you from? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Where am I from? I am from here, from the internet. No, I'm joking. I'm from Greece. Hello, welcome. Sorry, I cannot. Wait a minute. Can I pronounce the name? I will try. Muhammad. Hello, welcome, Muhammad. Is that the name? Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad. I'll just call you Muhammad. Hello, Muhammad. Welcome to the stream. Do you like lore, my friend? If you do like lore, then you are in the right place. We are just started reacting to the Multiverse Monarchs lore. Have you watched it? Wait, if you haven't watched it, I will play it out once for you if you want. But I have watched it, so yeah, I'm just trying to, break it down over here. So, continuing on, let me put it from here, because I need to refocus.
I have our splinters of memories, bright and warm. But what I do remember is the great evil that overpowered us. The warriors and heroes meant to protect my world ended up being its demise.
So she did foreshadow that in the previous one. I had forgotten about it. So the warriors and heroes meant to protect my world ended up being its demise. So it was as I was expecting. A civil war broke out. Obviously. That makes sense now. And it also makes sense that in the in this image, you see the other Valkyries. You know? I'm sorry, why are you alone? We're not baby. What? My friend, it does not matter what you know. It doesn't matter, the numbers do not matter. All right? Me being friendly, it's a form of, concern for other people. It's a habit, a virtue. It's not something that you just, you just act about, Anyway, hello, welcome to the stream, FV. Am I saying it correctly? Sorry, but you see, the other monitor, the monitor which I actually have for the chat, it's not very, yes, FV, welcome to the chat, welcome to the stream, to the chat, whatever, welcome. You see, the other monitor I have for the stream, and it's the monitor which I have the chat on, it's actually the one that doesn't have a very high resolution. And unfortunately for that, I cannot really, I cannot really see the names very well, so I have to bring it on the other screen. Anyway, ignore them or you're doing good. Yes, thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you, my friend. So, moving on. As I was saying, you can see that these are the other Valkyries, right? And the fact that, I had called it out. It wasn't, rocket science. Everyone could assume that it was, something that of a civil war breaking out. And that is good, like that. Not the civil war. Wait a minute. Let me gather my thoughts. It wasn't the civil war that is good. It's good the fact that, this foreshadowing, it was easy to understand. This first VTuber lore was the most mysterious because it had too many questions, way too little answers, and the only thing that you could get from as answers is the images from the crystals, basically. Because she speaks very cryptically. She speaks as if she's an oracle or something.
Its demise. And then it was gone. As was my faith in heroes and goodness.
You see, this is important. And then it was gone as was my faith in heroes and goodness. Because in the second, lore, the second part, I compared the second part. Because I'm trying to, as I said, I'm trying to draw the lines over here. She wants to continue the work of her sister, right? You will understand that assuming that you have watched the second part, right? So, she's trying to fulfill her sister's role. But now that she doesn't have any faith on the heroes and the goodness, basically means that, she's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do my thing.
I found other worlds like mine.
Okay, this is like
with foolish, prideful heroes, blinded by righteousness.
This is like the really good plot twist, the really good twist on the fact that Amalee actually sings sings anime songs. This is from what she stuttered from, right? And she, in the most recent days, before she made the lore video, she was always putting a version of herself as, as part of the universe of that character, of that anime. And this was like the link that these are, as a matter of fact, different versions of her. I have to be honest with you, when that first came about and I realized this was what it meant, I was kind of like, I was so surprised. This was a little bit of a hit in my own pride as a as a writer, because this is really damn good. It was damn good, I'm telling you. So good, as a matter of fact, that I cannot lie, I was jealous. It is what it is. Like, I cannot hide my feelings when it comes to actually, doing things that saying things that I really like, or doing things that I really like. I want to enjoy every feeling, and this was one of them. I was a little bit jealous of how good her lore was because of this one thing. She making anime music. She making covers of anime songs, inserting herself into the universe, and then actually all of that being a bigger story. Perfect. That was actually perfect. You have any idea how much inspired I was when I first watched this video, this VTuber lore
But
video.
when good arises, so does evil. That's just the balance of things. But I couldn't leave these worlds to their own demise. These so-called heroes would fail. A stronger evil always remains.
Okay, two more things. This time is not really so much about the video itself. This time is about the music. This specific music is the music she is using, Amalee, in her, in her waiting screen. At the beginning, the first in the first, wait a minute, I'm trying to find the word. Well, in the starting screen. Anyway, in the starting screen. Don't let me, drag on to it for too long. I just want to point out this one small fact. I really love this ambience music kind of thing she has. And eventually I went to her stream one day and I questioned her, why do you not like make this, these nice pieces part of the, of a like of a small soundtrack where you can publish on YouTube or something. And the answer I got from her basically is that she does not want to, because she doesn't want to deal with copyright bullshit. So that means that if I want to listen to this nice ambience because it inspires me so much, I really, really have to go into one of the streams that are archived and just listen to the, waiting screen at the beginning. Fuck me. And it still, it still makes me sad. Like I haven't let this go ever since this video drop, which was in winter of 2021, 2022. So it has been 1.5 years since then, and I'm like, I want to keep listening to this nice music, and I don't have a way of properly doing it. God damn it. Anyway, moving on.
So I became that stronger evil, to snuff out the flame before the whole thing catches fire.
By the way, also this line is also something that really, really intrigued me the first time I watched this video. There's to snuff out the flame before the whole thing catches fire. So basically, she's not just a monarch of fate. She's more or less like she's purposely making, she's purposely taking the role of the villain because she expects that this will balance things, I guess, in many ways. This is what probably it is what probably she has as in her inner conscience, in many ways you could say.
What better way to protect these worlds? What better way to protect the balance?
By the way, protect the balance by just making the worlds a little bit more fucked up, by this is what it sounds like. I want to hear that again.
So I became that stronger evil, to snuff out the flame before the whole thing catches fire.
What does that mean?
What better way to protect these worlds?
So that means that if she wants to, she goes to a world and just kills a future hero in order to balance what? it's very wondrous because you're thinking, what kind of twisted mentalities does the character, the monarch, has? Something that I really love, trying to think about. Hmm. Well, you see, it reminds me of other twisted villains who are not fully villains, or they have some kind of horrible backstory kind of thing. When it comes to anti villains specifically, if you don't know what an anti villain is, anti villains are basically those who do evil for their personal, desires, out of pride, out of envy, out of anything, out of greed. But they don't really are pure evil. Like, they don't do what's at most evil on purpose. What, like, for example, the scenario, it would be like this. An anti-villain would steal the candy from the baby, but he will not kill the baby because he's not pure evil. It's not necessary for him to kill the baby. He just wants the candy. Get me? So I guess this is what the Amalee, the Multiverse Monarch, is an anti-villain, because she was good at some point, so she knows that she cannot really bring herself into doing the utmost evil. She wants to keep the balance between good and evil, so she always does necessarily evil things in order to balance the good within the world, I guess. This is what I assume, but it's difficult to put it in an actual script. Like, you will need a decent amount of time to explain everything and build up everything if you were to make a series, an animation, like a episode, or a book about it or something.
What better way to protect the balance? But I couldn't watch every realm on my own. I only have 2 eyes. Or so I did. To act as my eyes and ears, I produced clones of myself.
So this was her idea in replacing her sisters, to create clones of herself. Of herself. I'm starting to speak as them now. I changed her pronoun. No, sorry. You see, it's a really good thing that it's a butterfly. What she chose to represent her. Not only because it might seem girly or cute or whatever. Butterflies are way more sinister than you realize. You see, there are butterflies out there that actually drink blood. Something that she herself, man, I'm going insane. She herself actually does. I think she has made a couple of jokes about that. Anyway. So, wait a minute. Let me check real quick. Butterfly. Symbolism. Symbolism. Okay. Many get a butterfly to symbolize transformation, beauty, rebirth, hope, freedom, endurance, and love. Butterfly tattoos can be powerful personal reminders of change or loved ones. So it's also for a really good thing. Metamorphosis. Goddamn. Transformation, hope, faith. Butterflies drink blood. Wait a minute. I wanna see what the result will be if I type that. Butterflies drink blood. Okay. Why is there blood coming out of my blood coming out of my butterfly? What the fuck are you talking about? You see, they drink blood that is spilled or stagnated from dead bodies to gain the minerals, like how they obtain from mud puddling. So they do. Butterflies will drink blood amongst many other fluids due to the minerals found on it. So it's both sinister and, cool
Bending
symbolically.
timelines to my will.
And these are all the artwork from her other, music videos. From,
Adding
from her
versions
covers.
of myself wherever I deemed necessary. To befriend these reckless protagonists. And to
I love how she breaks the fourth wall over here. And instead of saying to befriend these reckless heroes, these reckless warriors, she decides to say protagonists, specifically protagonists.
learn of their strengths and weaknesses. Would they be strong enough? I doubt it.
This, I doubt it. I have to be honest with you. I didn't want to bring attention to it. I always try to deviate myself, but every time I watch this deviate my thought from that specific line, I doubt it. Because she says it in such a cheeky way, it's like not cheeky way, in a cheesy way, it bugs me a little bit. I don't know why. Even though everything is perfect, this, I doubt it, sounds like such a, pardon my saying, a bitchy kind of, tone. So it always bugged me every time I hear it. I'm just, at this point, I'm just letting out all my thoughts and all my, feelings from the hype I had 1.5 years ago when I first watched this.
But I'm in no rush. For
I
now,
doubt it.
I'll watch how things play out as fate designed. And if needed, will be there to reset the balance. And so, my work begins.
Also, the second voice, I think it's her sister. Is she fused with her sister? That is something that it was not, very well, focused on. Who is the second voice? Who speaks? Who speaks? Who's? Anyway, the second one, which is like, 9 days ago, it was uploaded on the channel 9 days ago. The old me exists no longer. This one is even more interesting because this time we actually get answers, a couple of them. Confirmation for what we believed in the first one and, answers on this one. She specifically said, Amalee, that it took a long time to make this right, to make this, to make these videos a little bit, to make this lore video. And it's not wrong. It does take a lot of damn time to make anything, really, especially when it comes to lore, because you cannot always, you cannot put yourself through this, how should I call it? It's difficult for someone to actually, make something and not have second thoughts about it. Like, when you make something, especially when it's about lore, you think it and rethink it and rethink it, and there is always, if you want to put, a couple of animations, you want to put a little bit of, a couple of wallpapers or whatever, you always, like, rethink things, and you're thinking, how should you put them together? I know because I'm doing it as well. And goddamn, it is difficult. No wonder it took a long time for this to be made.
Where do I begin? Sometimes, when the nights of my reign feel too long, I think back to my beginning.
Not gonna lie, you can already see the jump in quality, you could say. Even though the first one is perfect, like the first one is something that I really love. As I told you before, the first part of the VTuber Lore, it's something that hyped me up so much, especially the ambience and music. Anyway, but you can see here that you have more already, like animations. proper animations. Like,
I think of how peaceful it was
you
back
see,
then. How
way more complex.
stupidly happy I was. And how I wasn't alone. No, I had my Valkyrie sisters. I cannot forget the weight of the sword in my hand, content to train and laugh all my days away.
Pause. One more thing. I have to, I love the fact that, there is like, when it comes to an actual realm, when she said that her home realm, she cannot remember her home realm, like, I'm glad to know that it is actually a realm, like a world with their own, lives and imagination, like a world of its own. It's not like some, you know, it's not like a normal world. It's not like a world where, it's not something that, like, it's not a simple world. It's not like an isekai world. It's like her home realm. It's a place where warriors train because these warriors are, you know, have taken vows to, protect other realms, basically. And that is like a unique concept. That's what I'm trying to say. Unique concept, when it comes to world building, a unique concept is always something that stands out. Now, when it comes to my lore, it seems that nothing is actually really standing out. But that's not really the case. I take what you know and then twist it. This is my way of making, world building. But as of right now, I can say that this world building is the most attractive one. Anyway.
Come on, Amma.
By the way, I just realized something. If I was to turn on
My days away.
Come on, Amma.
no,
Even you cannot last against the both of us.
Is that all you've got? It's dangerous to underestimate your opponent.
you can tell. Like, also to point out a little bit of how amazing her voice acting is. You can tell that this is a younger version of her, because she speaks a little bit more on a high note, on a high tone. And you can tell that, yes, this is a younger, more naive version of her. She doesn't speak in a cold manner. You do realize that every single picture, like, one more thing. You do realize that every single picture is like an animated wallpaper, right? Look at that. Every single piece of her moving, butterflies moving, the hand moving, the sword, more butterflies, more hair. Like, shit like this take time to be made. So no wonder she took so goddamn long to make it. She didn't make it herself, obviously. Like, you have to request it from someone. You have to properly plan ahead. You have to glue everything together once you have the pieces. For my, on my case, it also needs a lot of fucking money. Obviously, money is always a matter. But I'd rather not focus on that. And actually, I want to mention one more thing. But you know what? Yeah. I will mention it here since you can see it. I like her new model. She, along with the lore, she made a new model, the flame dress. How she called it. The Flame Monarch or something like that. And she said that is also the reason, like, the fact that this lore took so long is the reason why there is nothing of the flame dress in the lore video. And I'm thinking, why why did you have to make a flame dress and didn't you, you know, have the knight's armor? I like the knight's armor. It looks badass. Why? I guess then I guess I just like armors in general, but the dress is not bad, just saying.
To underestimate your opponent.
So who is the second? She said the two of us, but I don't see a second one. Kicked in the knee. Ooh. Lose. Wanna try again? I guess this is the second one.
You never did watch your back during a fight. I guess that's our win then.
I really don't get this implication right here. Does that mean, like, this is how she remembers things, or how things were actually, like, how things actually were? Is are her memories twisted compared to, you know, the drama of the aftermath, or is this really how they show, like, how they treated her and how they saw her? Like, as someone who they want to, you know, ridicule, basically. They want to make fun of, they want to bully. You see? And then you see, like, a little bit of the glitch from the, in the throne. Which I think it implies that, because in the throne is the, you know, is when she became a monarch. This is how she remembers things, but this isn't how exactly the things were. Because this scene right here could actually be just friends, you know, messing with you a little bit. Not because they hate you, but because they really fucking like you. Unfortunately, this twisted love always exists in, you know, in people. But because she has been through some shit, she thinks that people were actually hating on her. This is what she believes. I believe that this is the case. Because since, I mean, in actual context, she became a villain. Like, her pain became her reason. What do I mean by that? You see, when it comes to heroes and villains, there is like this small saying. This is all actual, you know, writing, you know, ideals. In order to, whenever you make characters, you think about these two things. A hero, when it comes to pain and suffering, the pain and suffering because their cause, they do the good because of the suffering. They do the, you know, they do what they do because of the pain. They do it because they want to fulfill this, you know, they want to fulfill in some ways this sense of duty, of not having others get hurt the same way they did. The pain, the suffering became their cause. But when it comes to villains, it's not the cause, it's the, you know, it's the excuse. You know, the villain does evil things because he uses as an excuse his pain and his suffering, you know? And this is how you separate these characters. In this case, the pain and the suffering, or whatever kind of twisted version of reality she has on her conscience, became her excuse.
Yeah.
She suddenly took, you know, LSD.
We were protectors of the multiverses, an army of Valkyrie, and our queen.
When I first saw that shit, I thought I was like, I'm missing some context here, but this will make sense in a little bit.
I think about her the most. My son, my queen.
And then you see the same person and you're like, what the fuck?
My monarch.
Lee! Lee!
She slips and falls,
Oh, Ama.
and then then it's the same fucking voice. No. It's good. But at this point is where you get it. And also one small fact I found about no, it's not. I didn't found about it. It was Amalee that actually spilled it. Is that in one of her videos from her the Rise of the Monarch soundtrack, she has in the music video two Amalees, and that's like, now you get it. Like, this was a hint, and I'm like, now that I think about it, I should have listened to the music as well. Do I want to listen to the music? Man, I'm not actually really good at interpreting music. When I say interpreting, I mean, I am not actually very good in listening to stories through music because I'm always so mesmerized by the melody, you get me? Like, even the most simplistic songs sometimes may seem like they have double meanings, at least in my head, because I always overthink so much. And if I really want to know the meaning, I actually go on Google and I'm like, this song, meaning, or maybe what's the inner message, kind of that kind of thing. So you know what? If I have some time, I'll probably listen to one or two songs, but I'm not gonna focus on them so much, mostly because, like, okay, as I said, I'm not really good at that. I'm good at watching and analyzing, not listening and analyzing. That's the thing. Moving on.
You mustn't be so careless. Who is supposed to be the knight here? Hmm?
You're right.
Wait a minute.
Clumsy me.
Who is?
You
Wait a minute.
mustn't be.
Okay. So for 1 second, I'm trying to figure out which character is which, but now I realize that it's the one who is wearing the earrings is the the queen.
So careless. Who is supposed to be the knight here?
You see?
Hmm?
Earrings. So this is
You're
the
right. Clumsy me.
We were twins, you see. Bound halves of a whole. In the open, she was my queen, my monarch, and I her knight. It was always the three of us.
So I paused it right here because I want to, I want you to take a good look at this fabulous armor. Look at that armor, man. If her next outfit is not this armor, then I will be incredibly disappointed. But you get me. It should have been this outfit instead of the flame dress. As I said, the flame dress is beautiful. It's amazing, but this armor, it's like chef's kiss. Amazing, incredible, fabulous, majestic, even. So, here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. How if they are twins? If they are twins, how did one become the monarch? Like, who was the previous monarch before them? But this is actually something that doesn't really matter at this point, right? You can tell by this point that the fact that she says, we were twins, my monarch, like, she almost says it as if she's in love with her. Like, there is obviously an obsession over here.
Atalanta, Lee, and I.
By the way, I have to point out something important right now. And you will understand the theme real quick. Atalanta was the name of an Amazon. You see, Valkyries and Amazons are actually almost the same kind of thing. Valkyries were meant to be a little bit more, as protectors and, escorts for warriors to go to Valhalla or something. I think that was the myth, I think. Amazons were not really as like this. They were just nomad a nomad tribe of women living, somewhere, at the shores of the Black Sea in the south. But you see, it feels like she specifically chose this name because Antalada was actually a mythological figure, and specifically she was the queen of the Amazons. Something that makes me think that there is actually a hint over here that if it was the three of us, there is Lee, which Lee is no longer. There is Ama, which is the new monarch, and then there is Antalanta, which will probably create her own faction or her own clones or something, and she will go up against Ama. And her faction will be the Amazons. I would love to see an actual story where they put just like the Amazons and the Valkyries to duke it out. It would be a legit girls fight, but warrior girls fight.
Time was endless when we were together. I loved them. I wish it could have lasted.
This is also another hint from her streams, the garden, because the garden is something that she actually has as a background in the, in her streams, obviously.
Ama, come here. We were just talking about you.
Hurry while the tea's still
Wait a
hot.
minute. Pause. Oh, I thought she had blue eyes just like them. Perhaps it was some kind of relative or distant relative. Something's off. Something's off with the colors and such. I think there is something here. This character is getting too much spotlight for being a character who just happened to be, they're good friends with them. Get me? Like, there is no such thing as just it happened. It always trying to hint on something. Now, the real question is, will Amalee in the future, if she makes another lore video, presumably in a year from now, she will actually keep the idea and move forward with it, or she will scrap it and think of something even more, creative. Like, this is like the struggle of every writer and every person who creates concepts. By the way, I think I know this concept wasn't just created by Amalee, right? Monarch, all of Monarchs is Amalee. Art, video, music. I thought, yeah. I think it was in her stream explaining that the concept was actually created by her and Merryweather. Well, Merryweather always makes good damn, concepts. Not gonna lie, I'm a little bit jealous of that, but it's not jealous out of hate. It's jealous out of jealousy out of the. I have told you before what kind of jealousy this is. The jealousy of when will I also get a chance? This is good. This is incredible, actually. Will I do better? No. I will do something different, though. If I was to make something, I wouldn't make something like this. I would make it a little bit more. I was going to focus a little bit more on the drama side of things. I always do that, actually. But then again, would I actually have enough time, to give a proper story within 6 minutes? Well, I guess it all comes down. It doesn't come down to comparing writers. It always comes down to which writer, believes it's most important in the story. Is it the development of the characters? Is it just the drama and the so-called world building around them? Is it it always comes down to it's writer doing their own thing, basically. I will never compare myself to Merryweather, and I will never actually try to act like the you know, like a douchebag and be like, I would have made it better. No. Again, I said it's not jealousy by hate. It's jealousy by when will I also get a chance to do something similar? Not this, obviously. I just fucking love lore, you know? So I'm like, eventually I have to find, a breakthrough to also start, making some nice stories for the internet. Anyway, moving on.
Hurry while the tea's still hot. Come here, hurry up.
This is a little bit of the, PTSD kind of side.
Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
But I was so foolish.
What are you doing? This is no time to be daydreaming.
Time.
Okay, this is the scene where I will criticize a little bit, alright? I knew we will eventually gonna come over here.
So foolish.
What are you?
First things first. This image does not match the tone of the voice over here. I'm not trying to wait a minute. Pause. let me express that a little bit better. I'm not saying that this is not the same actors. Calm down. I'm little. Let me get my bangs a little bit. What the fuck? What I'm trying to say is this, this face is full of horror and frustration, and the command over here is a little, like, the execution of this line over here is a little bit weak compared to this powerful face. Get me? Like, what are you doing? This is not time for daydreaming. No. This isn't. This is a little bit of a, I think there was some kind of miscommunication in this, recording over here. It should have been a little bit more powerful. What are you doing? This is not time to be daydreaming. Like, something like, fucking flip out in that moment. This face obviously shows like not just sadness. It shows everything: fear, as I said, horror, dread, everything. And then the delivery you get is this.
So foolish.
What are you doing? This is no time to be daydreaming.
You see, like, this is a little bit too straightforward for someone who literally, as you can see, has grabbed Amma over here and tried to wake her up. It should have been more like a general's command. Like, let me try. God damn it, I'm not feeling very, very focused for proper voice acting right now, but let me try. It should have been a little bit more, I really want to give it a try myself. All right, I'll probably listen to this back when I finish the stream. Let me get a little bit of a. Let me warm up a little bit. This face of horror, this face of frustration needs to be justified, all right? And you cannot just have a line which just goes, "What are you doing? This is no time to be daydreaming." Like, it sounds like a little bit more like she's scolding her on a normal Sunday instead of actually being, a proper, shout of, of complete, panic. Let me take a few breaths. It's kind of ironic, the fact that in 1 hour from now, I have to, I have to get my singing lessons. And if I was already warmed up from that, I would be able to do properly. But you know what? Might as well. It should have gone like this. What are you doing? This is not time to be daydreaming. Like this. Like, it should have had, a layer of, like, anger and frustrations, as I said. This is my best I can do right now. I'm pretty sure I can do even better, but you know, for giving an example, this is like the best I can do right now. I mean, compare what I just said with this.
Foolish.
What are you doing? This is no time to be daydreaming.
You heard it again. You hear it right? There is no actual nice depth in that specific line, and it bugs me so much. I don't know why, but I because you see, this is like the build-up. You see, from nice times to drama, and when it comes to drama, I always like focus in order to make the best delivery possible, because this is the moment where you get people, you know, hooked. This is the moment where you get people, you know, invested.
Hurry while the tea's still hot.
You go from a nice, you know, scenery to a complete, you know, panic state. Like snapping out from a nice dreaming into a harsh reality, and this is something that people always like focus on. Like they are always hooked. It's in the nature of man, it's in the nature of humans as a whole, to always draw themselves in to, you know, tragedy and drama. It people, you see, it's because it sells. Drama sells, basically, and this is like the moment where you're about to sell it, and then you give me a line like that. Are you kidding me? I'm not saying this right now because I wanna, you know, say, oh, voice acting is bad. No. Voice acting is good, incredibly good. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of miscommunication in that specific line over there when they were recording it.
I'm here, hurry up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
But I was so
You see, the wake up lines are fine.
foolish.
And then,
What are you doing? This is no time to be daydreaming.
oh, also, I just realized she does have blue eyes after all. In this close-up, you can see it. You see? Blue eyes. Slightly blue. A little bit to the gray blue. And then you see Amalee, which also has the same eyes. It makes me believe that she somehow is also connected. Anyway, moving on from voice acting and connections through this specific character.
This is no time to be daydreaming.
Also, this character doesn't have any other scene after this point.
Could never last forever. No candle can
You see, she just throws her away. She's like, "What? Where are you going?"
burn forever.
And after that, you don't see her ever again. Probably you'll see her as an antagonist in the next lore video.
Light can last where there exists an endless darkness.
She tries to command a few people, fails because she doesn't have, you know, the leadership perk.
My sisterhood. We were supposed to protect, to carry out our queen's will. But they forgot their oath. They didn't understand her love for the timelines. She wanted to intervene for good. They believed intervening at all would bring chaos.
Wait a minute.
Wanted to intervene.
She wanted to intervene. Ah, so this line, I confused this line. It says she wants to intervene for the sake of good. I thought she meant she wants to intervene totally. Get it? Because for good it could mean either thing.
For good.
She
They
wants to intervene
believed
totally.
intervening at all would bring chaos.
Mala! Acadia! What are you doing? Why are you all fighting? Stop! Stop it!
She doesn't care. She never did.
By the way, I need to point out in this very video as well. Also, one small pause because something came to my mind. Who is the voice actress of Dear? In order of appearance, Malamer Atalada. Erika Lidberg. Well, Erika Lidberg. I have heard this woman. I have heard of this woman before, no? Yeah. Obviously, this woman She has voice acting. Helluva Boss as well. Helluva Boss has incredible voice acting. Man, I told you, it's not the voice actress. It's the delivery of that specific line. I knew it. I didn't know this was the Erika Lindbergh. I'm sorry, my lady, but you see, in order to not have any confusion, it was probably something in the communications. I'm definitely sure right now. Anyway, something I want to point out. This name, Ceylon. Actually, there are how many names? There is Anise. I want to point out something that I pointed out on Twitter. Because it's important, okay? It's important because I'll tell you why. In Twitter, I just realized that these names have different origins, right? And this is actually another nice, it's another nice, small foreshadowing, a tragic one at that. Mostly because you will understand right now. And there is also Mother. In order to not, in order to make my point across clear. Okay, so there is the name Anise, right? Right here. Is a girl's name of British origin. So we have British. We have the name Acadia. The French girl's name Acadia means place of plenty. French. British, French. Ceylon, I think it's Ceylon. Ceylon, two originally from Arabic name Zahilan, excuse me. So, Arabic. British, French, Arabic. Atalada, a Greek name in Greek origin. Greek. Marolina is unknown. I guess it's a nice, made up name. But you can assume that it's from somewhere. Mala is Hebrew, or it's of Hebrew origin. So you get the pattern, right? All of these names are names of different origin. Something that is very sad when you think about it, because it's basically a representation of the harmony, of the harmonia, of the unison that was not meant to last. Because you see, these different kinds of origins, it's like it gives off a sense of unity, but at the same time, that this kind of unity is fragile. And this is exactly what happens.
She never did. All she cares about is herself and her precious timelines. Protected in that ivory tower of hers as we go out to do her bidding.
Our friends were lost in that last mission.
By the way, I just realized
Bidding.
the butterflies over here they are, as a matter of fact, different butterflies, because it's not just a butterfly chasing color, it's a butterfly with different pattern. You see, this butterfly has a lot of circles,
as we go out to do her bidding.
and this butterfly does not have much circles. It has more lines. You see, line here, and a couple of circles there.
Last mission, the timelines changed and ruined. We are not just pawns to be used how she likes.
This was not the oath I took.
She's interfering too much. If we let her do this, let her continue.
As you see, this is also a different butterfly.
It could be devastating. A butterfly effect like no other.
She treats us like we're disposable. How dare she look down on us? Without us, she is nothing. And we will remind her that.
She needs to know our pain, our struggles. No, she needs to feel it herself. She needs to experience our pain.
5 butterflies. Are all of these antagonists? I'm questioning right now. These are the other butterflies she has to face, basically. Huh? Like the other monarchs, you could say. The other, people who try to interfere with timelines. That would be so badass, actually. I fucking love an idea like that. An idea where you're like, so it's like God of War kind of thing. Like you have to fight multiple gods. You have to fight multiple opponents, and each chapter is a different opponent. Like a Kill Bill kind of like the movie Kill Bill, you go after them one by one. That would be badass. This is my idea. Like this is my bet. But god damn it, it is a little bit far-fetched for a VTuber lore to be like that. But you see, this is how I am. I dream big. When I make a story, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna create a whole saga of it. I'm not just making one chapter. I'm like, okay, goodbye. I'll never see this world again. I do not like. Listen to me. I'm not the kind of guy who likes, I'm not the kind of guy who likes to create a world and then immediately like abandon that world after the first chapter. I want to make more. I want to make sequels. I want to make prequels. I want to explore the world myself. Get me? This is the kind of writer I am. If I feel like I'm dragging it too long, maybe I'll move on. But when it comes to world building and in general, when it comes to creating a story, I do not just want it to end very fast. Like, imagine if the whole lore of Amalee is just these 2 small videos we just watched. 2 minutes of the other video, 6 more minutes from this, a total of 8 minutes. That's it. That is the story of Amalee, the Multiverse Monarch. No, that is so sad. It's so well made and it's so nicely, thought out. To just, say fuck it and never, move on, never see how far the rabbit hole goes, basically. Oh well.
Our suffering.
I don't want to fight you! Wait, where is Monarch?
So, wait a minute. I cannot understand what I'm watching right now. Is she laying down? Is she... I'm not actually... What? Is he standing right now? Is it... I don't see a sword on her. Also, her hair is black. Does that happen when they die? Their hair turned black? Also, she also has an armor of her own. That's interesting. Do you... can you... I do not actually know what I'm watching right now. Is she actually dead in this scene? And if she is, she's definitely dead, because in this moment, this is where she flips out. But how is she standing? Is this her feet down here, her body up here? But if she's standing, then how is she dead? You get me? My mind cannot see how the corpse is laying down. This is one of my biggest problems in this specific. This is probably on me. I probably don't see it because my mind just, I don't know, it does not click. This is obviously her cape. The backside of her head. One shoulder, second shoulder. Arm, arm. So the feet is down here. So that means that she's standing up. Right? Or perhaps this is a... No, impossible. This is not a foot. If this is a foot, then what the fuck is this with the ball of fur over here? God damn it. I do not know why, but I cannot actually understand how she died in this moment.
In the end,
Ah, this is her falling. Right? Like falling back. And that's why she also loses the crown. Also, the crown over here, it's a nice, and also the sound effect too is it's a really nice, small scene.
in the end, her hands that were meant to build, to change, ended up wrapping their greedy fingers around her own throat.
I don't get this line. Her hands that were meant to build. Lee's hands that were meant to build ended up wrapping their greedy fingers around her own throat. Wait a minute. Why would you call Lee's fingers greedy? Are you acknowledging that Lee was actually greedy? I do not get this specific line. So she basically suicide. She committed suicide. Like, wait a minute. Let me see that picture again. Like, she has her arm on her throat in this very moment. That's why I'm telling you that I do not get how she died. As I said, this is probably on me. Perhaps I'm not noticing an important detail, and this is my fault. But I'm trying to figure it out.
Her hands that were meant to build, to change, ended up...
To build, to change, ended up wrapping their... So she suicide. She committed suicide.
Wrapping their greedy fingers around her own throat. The Valkyries slayed their own queen.
Wait a minute, is that... No, I'm getting it wrong. Now I get it. So, in the end, her hands that were meant to build. But when she says... she doesn't say their hands, she says her hands. That were meant to build, to change, ended up wrapping their greedy fingers around her own throat. So how can she say that the Valkyries slayed their own queen when you saw that actually she committed suicide? There is a lot of, confusion in this last scene. You might be overtaken by the visuals and the hype in that moment, but not gonna lie, at this moment I speak like an actual writer. I feel bugged from this specific scene, and now I get that it's probably not just my mistake alone. Perhaps there is still something I'm not getting. I'm not sure. Well. And these are the 5 butterflies, you see, that basically took her throne. Which is a nice detail, I'm not gonna lie. In this very moment, there is just one picture which feels off. And there is these 2 lines that also feel off. Ended up wrapping their greedy fingers around her own throat. And Valkyries slayed their own queen.
The Valkyries slayed their own...
These 2 lines contradict each other. It should have been a little bit more fluent. It should have been a little bit more detailed, or it should have been phrased differently in order to make better sense.
Own queen. They questioned her purpose, her choices. They didn't want to be her guides, her knights no longer.
Uh-huh.
They took her. They took her from me.
They took her from me. They took her.
My son. My son.
Not gonna lie. This moment right here. The whole voice acting in this moment right here. You see, this is also the one which is most replayed too. Amalee just nails it. When I first heard it, I was about to tear up. Like, I felt a little bit of a shake in my insides from the voice being like in such a despair. It's incredible.
Queen. They questioned her purpose, her choices. They didn't want to be her guides, her knights no longer. They took her. They took her from me. My son. My son. And so I took theirs. I took their fire. I feasted on it. Drank their hopes. Stole their dreams.
You see, which I told you see I told you see when I told you that butterflies drink blood. This is why I mentioned it. And I want to see a little bit of the why. Okay, I don't get it. There's one more thing that contradicts this. Is this Lee or Amma? I will assume that this is Amma, the one who survived. Don't get me, like, don't confuse the names. Lee is the one who died. Amma is the one who took her place. Why the blood? It seems like the blood in this moment is someone that stabbed Lee, and Amma is the one watching in horror.
Her from me.
Which is, it would have been actually a little bit more, like, with these very same pictures, it could have been a little bit more, straightforward if it was someone to stab Lee in front of Amma. Which, this is what I would have done if it was up to me to make, the script. Anyway. I want to keep listening to this. No. I want to keep listening to the My son is actually such a, sad, like, she actually nails.
Took her from me.
She nails that.
My son. My son.
And then you have the butterfly pinned against the wall.
And so I took theirs.
So this is like the darkness taking over her, I suppose.
I took their fire. I feasted on it.
When she said I took their fire, this is like paying a tribute, you could say, to the, to the other, to snuff out the flame before the whole thing catches fire. This darkness coming out of it's from her mouth or from someone's mouth, because they bleed out from a mouth. I do not get this specific picture.
Drank their hopes, stole their dreams, as they had mine.
You see, so she basically slaughtered everyone, but in the beginning, she's not actually so powerful. So how did she suddenly had the power to slay everyone? Like, this is also something that needed some explaining. You see, there are plot holes here. It's not incomplete. But I do not want to be harsh on it, because this is like one of the most well-produced, well-made Vtuber lores. You see, I do not find myself in a position to actually criticize anything, considering the fact that I myself haven't made anything close to that. I haven't made anything as good or anything that I can compare it with. So I know what I would like to do, but what we like to do and what we actually end up, creating, like, the execution is always way more difficult and way more, demanding than just saying, oh, I had this good idea and you didn't. Like, No, I'm not on the seventh cloud, my friends. Like I have, a grounded mind. I know that, probably they had a lot of ideas too, which sounded incredible on paper, but when it came to actually visualizing it, it was not just possible. Considering the fact that this is like a 6-minute, lore video, it's already, double of the lore videos that are out there.
That day, the sisterhood was no more. They were tired of caring.
Okay, so what are those on the ground? Blankets? Blankets covering the corpses?
Carrying out my sister's wishes, so I released them of that burden. And in my fallen sister's honor, I swore to take up her helm and continue where she left off.
But you said you are... Oh, well, you see, this contradicts the first one, because she said, I decided to become that evil. So you basically admit that your sister was evil.
For her dream was mine. I guess then, it is not my beginning that I remember. It is how I ended. The old me exists no longer, but Monarch lives again.
Not gonna lie. This, it brings you chills. This last,
Lives again.
This last image. It's not Finn Finn of this, prequel, but there is more. Shut up! I do not want any of that jazz about beers. Okay? Thank you. So, I loved it, as you can tell. Obviously, I would criticize it quite a bit, because it wouldn't be much of a, this wouldn't be much of a stream if I didn't say something more than than the normal person. I am hyped. I really want to have more. That's why I said that this is not Finn. There is no finale. You cannot just drop me that and be like, okay, we're done. This is way too cool to just stop there. We have to have more. We have to. It is what it is. It's just, something that has to, evolve. Bigger. Better. Anyway. So. That said, I don't think I have anything else to add. Congrats. Congrats. Voice acting incredible. Visuals incredible. Story incredible for what you had. Too bad, this is the one thing I bet on, The reason why I joined the VTubing community as a whole, I didn't want more streamers or any more content creators. I didn't want them because I already had many before VTubing. But it was the lore that drove me in. The fact that there are characters with backstories. But this approximately 2.5 years I have been in the community of VTubers. I am underwhelmed. It is a little bit underwhelming. I am a little bit disappointed with the fact that lore does not go a little bit further away than just that. The only lore that I can actually mention and say, yeah, that was the shit, it's the Vishojo lore. These people are the only people who actually give some damn to make good lore. Again, it's from Merryweather, but you get me, right? Merryweather knows how to make some lore, and people always prefer to him to make lore. But I want to see more from other people as well. I don't know. You know what? Be the change you want to see in the world, and this is exactly what I'm trying to do. I have an idea. This idea was not meant to be a VTuber, but it became a VTuber. Better this than nothing, I guess. I will give you lore, and when I do, you will stay stunned from what you're about to witness. But I'm gonna need time. A lot of time. And a lot of money too. The main reason is because of the money. I need time to make money and then make lore. So one step at a time. There will come a day where we will actually be able to say, ha, look how far we've come. But as of right now, we just keep grinding. Keep pushing forward. Keep doing what we know do. Keep doing what we do best. Thank you all so much for watching, okay? Have a good day. I'll see you on Friday. I don't know when I'm gonna stream, but I'll see you then. Alright? Have a good day. I'll see you next time. Adios. Later. Bye-bye. 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 Did you like my voice acting? Tell me in the comments below. Or don't tell me at all and save me from embarrassment.